Project cars are great. You can fix things, modify things, fix the things you broke when you were fixing the first thing, and all from the comfort of your garage, workshop, driveway, or local McDonald's car park. Daily drivers are great too. They can transport you at previously unfathomable speed, haul a bunch of people and stuff, and won't kill you most of the time. Amazing. You know what's not great? Combining the two. When your daily driver is also your project car, you get the worst of both worlds. A project that's hard to work on, and a daily you can't always drive. But at least it has a cute alliterative name. Welcome to the hell that is rolling restorations. Back when our Toyota MR2 was a project car confined to the workshop, I was free to take on any job. It didn't matter how long it would take, what parts I needed, or if I resided too far left on the Dunning-Kruger graph to even attempt it. I could just dive in and figure the rest out later. But now it's back on the road, a rolling restoration that lives at home with me, a 10-minute drive from the workshop. No matter what I do here, I still need to be able to drive home at the end of it, which severely limits my options. So what job to take on next? Time to consult the all-knowing cardboard to-do list. Nope, that'll take too long. The brakes are fine anyway, it's just the handbrake is a bit weak. That needs parts I don't have. It is tempting, the siren song of comfort, a loving embrace and stimulating conversation. But not today though, I'm here and I will fix something. Perfect, fixing the gauges. Now on the surface, this is exactly the type of job I can't do. The difference is, I can drive home halfway through this job. I already have a speedo that doesn't work, a tack that is wildly inaccurate, and an oil level warning false positive. And I can handle a few short journeys without fuel level, engine temperature, or a voltmeter. Huh, I don't remember walking through any puddles. Weird. Time to get the gauge cluster out. This is a job that only needs one tool. Unfortunately, that tool is a JIS screwdriver, and I don't own one, so I can either ruin the screws with a Phillips, or I can ruin them with a posi drive. I'm gonna go posi drive. It is a deceptively tricky task though, and requires removing a lot of the interior trim. I have three separate problems with the gauges. The speedo doesn't work at all, the tachometer reads way too low, and I get an oil level warning light when the oil level is fine. The oil level warning light is entirely my fault. A while back I replaced the rusty oil pan with one from a Japanese car, and for some reason, while UK cars have an oil level sensor, Japanese ones don't. I did previously try to bypass the oil level sensor in the wiring loom, but managed to accidentally wire it into the temperature gauge, causing me to think the car was constantly overheating. So my options are to remove the bulb or just tape over it. Or both. I'm going to do both. Mostly because I don't want light from other parts of the gauges leaking through the bulb hole. I said bulb hole, damn auto sensor. The speedo and tack issues are not going to be so simple. I'll need to remove those gauges from the cluster to investigate further. Unfortunately, there doesn't appear to be anything wrong with the speedo, if you ignore this bodge fix of mine from many years ago, but that's still holding fine. That means the issue is likely to be with the speed sensor in the gearbox. I'll check that out later. On to the rev counter. The revs reading low is a fairly common issue with MR2s, and is usually caused by capacitors going bad. Looks like two failing capacitors, one is bulging and the other has just started to leak. Luckily I've caught it early so the leak hasn't yet made it onto the circuit board. I'll remove the suspect capacitors so I can get a better look and order some matching replacements. Hang on, why was my foot wet? It's been uncharacteristically dry for a British summer. There's no way I walked through a puddle. Uh-oh, that means... Yep, we have a leak, and quite a bad one too. Oh, why did I do that? It doesn't smell like coolant at least. The coolant level is where I left it, and the passenger footwell is dry, so we can rule out a leaking heater core. So how is the water getting in? The weather may be dry now, but this summer has been a moist one, so it's likely the water is getting in around the window. The thing is, we replaced all these seals with genuine items only a few years ago, and they still look good. Believe it or not, I did wash the car recently, and not a drop of water made it inside them. I can't even slide a piece of paper between the window and the seal. I'm stumped. Looks like a problem for future me. Where was I? Oh yeah, removing the bad capacitors. If you're enjoying this video, please give it a like and subscribe to make sure you catch the next installment. Don't worry, you won't miss anything. I'm just going to spend the next 10 seconds browsing Reddit. Politics, 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 politics. Ah, cat pictures. One orange brain cell indeed. I'm sure I had a desoldering tool, but it's inexplicably gone missing. I know it's a mystery. So for now, I'm going to make do with some pliers and a bit of wiggling. And it's out. Looks to be a 10 microfarad, 25 volts, and conveniently the other bad one is the same. I'll order some replacements. Well, that's all for tonight. Time to roll this restoration home with no gauges and a wet footwell. It's a new day, and I come bearing replacement Wait. The door doesn't always shut properly. And it's been that way throughout my ownership. All those years have left the hinge a bit sloppy, so it's too low to easily engage with the latch. Chances are I just didn't shut the door properly one evening and the English summer weather did its thing. No leak after all. Time to solder in the new capacitors. These are electrolytic, so they're polarised. That means it's vital to put the new ones in the right way. Oh crap. I forgot to make a note of their original orientation. Luckily I film everything, so I can just look at the previous footage and find their polarity. I probably could have figured it out anyway, as both the negative legs go to the same ground plane. That's the new capacitors in, time to see if it's worked. That's more like it, and no more pesky oil level warning. Still no speedo, but you know what they say, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. But then there's also the handbrake, throttle cable, bodywork, exhaust heat shield, under trays, rust, gear knob, radio, blinker fluid, rear cross brace, intake, flux capacitor, reticulate the splines, passenger headlight, and stuff I forgot to put on last time. So really it's 2 out of 18. That's pretty bad. Wait, we can reduce that fraction down to 1 out of 9. I just halved my workload. Maths.